everybody, Becky here, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Today I'm going to be taking you guys on a fun little trip to one, maybe two local thrift stores to see what we can find, whether it's fabric or something to upcycle. In my city, we have tons and tons of really nice, like small, independent thrift stores, so you never know what you're going to find, and they're usually decent prices. And the first one that we're going to go to, they have a like craft section, and they do usually have fabric selections. A lot of times it's quilting cottons and things like that, but it just kind of depends, like I said, on what you're gonna find. So that is where we're heading first. They open at 10 o'clock. I got Ellie here with me. She's unfortunately not doing her morning naps anymore. Usually she naps while Teddy's at school, so I have to pick him up at 10:45. The thrift stores open at 10, so we're gonna drive to the further one first. It's only like 5 minutes, but then the other one is right here, basically behind our house. So we're gonna go out that way first, and usually I find better stuff at that one, so we're gonna head there first and see what we can find. Alright, so we are here. We're a couple minutes early. Like I said, it took 7 minutes to get here. And just kind of to preface, I do live in a bigger city by Indiana standards, which I know that doesn't really mean much, but I live in the second biggest city in Indiana, so we do have quite a few options of thrift stores and just kind of shopping in general. Not anything compared to like big cities, but just I don't live in a tiny little town, so that is that. And then when we head in here, I actually am not even the first person here. There's actually 8 other cars in the parking lot with people sitting in here waiting to go in. So I don't want to be rude and talking and things like that, so I will do some filming as we go through where you can kind of just see, and then I'll hop back in the car and chat with you. So I'm going to try to get in and out in about 15 minutes so that I can head over to the other thrift store and still have some time to run through there. I got out of there. It's 10:23. I was actually making really good time, but they were having issues with the cash register. So I am going to run over to the other store real quick and just get in there and get out. All right, I had so much fun running to those stores and grabbing a couple of things it's actually like 3 days later now. If you are new to me, I have 3 little kids under 6. My oldest daughter just turned 6. My youngest daughter just turned 1. So there's a lot of chaos in our house, and in order to sit and record these videos, I need peace and quiet, which sometimes is hard to come by. So I wanted to sit down and go over everything that I got and kind of talk about what my plans were with what I bought, and talk about how much I spent and things like that, since I didn't really have time at the thrift stores when we were doing it. So from the first store, my total was 28 something. I don't remember what it was, but I know it was a 28. So that is what I spent. I did buy one thing that's not going to be upcycled, and that was actually the most expensive thing. I think it was $8, which I will show you here when we go through. So the first thing I showed you when I went, and I don't know what I am gonna do with this. This was the green tags were half off, so it was $2.25, and this is actually a women's shirt. This actually has some really pretty embroidery on it. The hearts in those X's are part of the fabric. It's woven into the fabric, but then all of the florals are embroidered, and that's only on the front bodice. There's a little bit on the collar. There's no embroidery on the back, but it still has that same heart print. And I just thought that this was so cute, and it's a woven, and it's just a really great weight. I thought it would maybe make a really cute skirt or something like that for one of my daughters, but this will just go. I do have a whole tub of clothing that I can upcycle whenever I feel like it, that I buy, like things like this that I can use for some sort of project, or if I could make, you know, it would be really cute with a little bag with this on the front. I don't know. That is a TBD, but I couldn't pass it up, especially since it was half off. And next, again, I am not completely sure what I'm gonna do with this. This was a tablecloth. So it's a little bit thicker and more structured than just like your typical fabric, but I thought it would be cute for something that I needed just a little bit of structure on, some sort of skirt or something along those lines, or maybe even a pair of like pants. It would be really cute. And this was 100% cotton. Again, just look at that. And it is actually, because it is heavier, it is a little bit thicker, so I would be able to use it for something like pants and maybe not be as concerned. Here's the back of it, and this was $3.50, and it's 58 by 80 inches. So when you think about that, think like 42-inch wide fabric, multiply that by 2, you get 84. So it's a little bit more narrow, but you could take out the seam lines. It looks like there's about an inch of seam folded over on all of the edges. So we'll say it's about 2 yards wide, and then it's 58 inches. So 72 inches would be 2 yards long. So we'll say like I'm not gonna do the math super fast in my head, but we'll say about it's 1 yard and 3/4, 1.5 yards long, and then that's twice as wide as a yard of fabric. So almost, well, we'll say 3 yards of fabric here for $3.50. And next, so I have seen on TikTok, there's this girl, there's probably a couple, but she makes towel shorts, and they're like beachy shorts. They're loose fitting, and she does them for herself. She does kids shorts. I think she maybe sells them, but I picked up this towel, and she uses like the borders as part of the hem or different things, and she'll do vintage towels and things like that. So I got these to make a pair of towel shorts for one of my kiddos. But what I would do is I'll use the bottom here as my hem and cut it out. So you do your shorts and line up the side seam here and cut it this way. If you're doing the larger sizes, sometimes this girl, she does 2 different fabrics, so like one on each side of the leg. You could turn it and have this be your side seam, so like it goes down the side, or just, you know, there's all kinds of cool things you could do and color block it and things like that. But they make really great like beach or pool shorts. You also can use towels for cover-ups. They make very easy cover-ups. Lowland Kids has a pattern, more for kids, but Lowland Kids has a pattern that it's literally just a square, basically with a head hole on it, which you don't even really need a pattern for this. Like this one, all you would do is fold it in half like so, cut a hole here, and finish the neckline. If you wanted to do a hood, you would need another towel or a different material, and then you could sew down the side seams partially, or you could just put a snap down like under the armpits to hold it together, or just, you know, they sell those hooded towels just like this with just a hood on the middle. So that is another really quick upcycle for towels. And this one was $2, and it's actually in pretty good shape. There's a couple snags in it, but that's okay. Then the next thing I got was this sweatshirt, and this is a like quilted knit fabric. And so for my daughter's birthday, my younger daughter, my mom got her the cutest quilted pullover from Carter's, and it's just adorable on her. It's nothing fancy, it's just a like dolman style, but it's the quilted fabric just looks so cute on it. And I wanted to make her some like that because it is so cute and she wears it all the time, but it's hard to find the quilted textured knit, and this doesn't have a ton of stretch in it, but for something like a dolman you don't need a ton of stretch. So I did pick this up. It's this really pretty like dark purple. This is actually a really good color on me. It looks more gray here, but it's kind of a heathered purple with some like blacks in it. So I'm thinking I will use this for the body, and then I do have ribbing that I think will match this pretty closely. If not, black I think would pull the black specks out it and still look really cute. And this was another half off one, so it's $6.50, so it was $3.25. And I could honestly probably make her a pair of matching shorts out of this as well. I think that would be really cute. Maybe I would do like the Lowland Kids, oh, I can't remember what it is, but they have a cute set that is shorts and a top, and I think that this would be a great pattern to upcycle for that. Okay, so I did get a couple more things, I guess, then for just upcycle. So I think that was all I got to upcycle, but I will show you what else I got. This was the dress that I was talking about. This is actually a Free People dress. If you know, you know. This is probably like $200 new, and I just thought that this was so cute with the embroidery, and the color is so fun for spring. So I grabbed this for me, and I think this was $8, $7.50. So that I will not be upcycling. I also grabbed these really cute little sandals for my daughter. These were $1. And then I grabbed these for my older daughter. They were $2.50. They're just some gym shorts. She's starting soccer here soon. The last thing I grabbed was this Nike shirt, and this is to upcycle. This was $3.50, and it's just a plain black Nike t-shirt, but these are really fun to upcycle. I like to do them for my son. You get like a real big Nike logo on it, and you can do rompers and all kinds of things out of the t-shirts. I think little kids are always just so cute in Nike, but now I can have a little Nike outfit for only $3 as opposed to like $30. So that was everything from the first store. So again, around $28 for all of that. So I got 4 things to sew, upcycle, and I can use them probably more than once, especially that tablecloth. I should be able to get more out unless I make like a pair of pants for me, but I probably won't because I don't do well with white. All right, then at the next store, I don't remember how much I spent. It was under like $10. I didn't get a lot. They didn't really have very many great options. So, and I think I only got one thing for sewing, but let's get into it. So the first thing I got was, this isn't for sewing, but you could actually use these. This is just a plastic tablecloth, one of those reusable ones with the, I don't really know what's on the back, like it's brushed material, kind of flannelly, for picnic tables, and it's Easter's with these really cute bunnies. I thought this was cute. You could cut these up and make bags, and you know, like the bags you get at TJ Maxx and things like that. You could use this for just like a tote bag. So this was $3, but again, I'm just going to be using it as a tablecloth. And then next I got this sweatshirt. This is another Nike sweatshirt, and this I did get to Upcycle. It is very worn, filled with holes. So this is something that probably would not have gotten bought unless I bought it, or maybe somebody else went in there and saw it, decided to upcycle it. But this was only 50 cents because it was a kid's. It's like a kid's extra large. And it probably would have just gone to the dump. You know, there's usually the hole here. There's a couple holes in it. So I will do something with this, give it another life, and save one item from the landfill. Okay, I got two other items actually. So these are both to upcycle. So this is a really cute like double gauze shirt, and this fabric is so cute. And I actually got this to make, I think I'm gonna do shorts for Ellie. I think this would make really cute shorts, and I could maybe even do a skirt. It does have this gathered hem on it that I could actually probably just like cut out along the hem and along this bottom gather and add a waistband, and then use this as part of the skirt. And then I wouldn't have to gather, I wouldn't have to hem it, I would just have to do a waistband. You could put a pair of shorts under it and then just do a fold over waistband. I might actually give that a go. With wouldn't even need a pattern, and I think it would turn out really cute. So I might try that, and then I think there's enough in here to make her some sort of little shirt and things like that. You also could do the same thing with a dress. Now, when you're upcycling, you just have to be very open to what you're going to be using it for, because you have to pick your pattern based on what you're using. So like if you're using a shirt with a big graphic on it, you know, you can't use a small little fitted one, and you might not be able to use it for a newborn size or things like that. You just have to be able to play with the patterns that you're going to use and things like that. So this I could do probably a dress for Ellie. She's in 18 months, so it would be long enough, you know, where you would just, even if it was just a swing dress, you would just cut out the bodice, and then I would just cut it, lay this out so that it was flat straight down, and then it would be gathered and have these cute little ruffles on it. And then you wouldn't even have to gather it, you would just have to basically sew your side seams and the shoulders and finish those edges, and you would have a really cute ruffled dress. And then the last thing I got is this skirt. So this is a lot of fabric. Tiered skirts have a lot of fabric in them, especially for adults, when you ungather it. And this is a women's skirt, and I think it's maxi in the back. It's kind of a high-low. So these take a lot of fabric to make, and this is another woven one, but this is a, I'm not really sure what this is. It feels kind of like a rayon challis. So this is a rayon. So it is nice and flowy, and honestly, like, doesn't really wrinkle. This was shoved in the bottom of a bag for 3 days, and you can see, like, I mean, obviously there's wrinkles on it, but it is not very wrinkly. So I think just with a quick press or with care after the wash and hanging it up to dry or whatever, hanging it up right after it comes out of the dryer, I think you would be okay. So I am actually planning on cutting this up and making a skirt pattern. Little Lizard King / Styla has a skirt in testing that is so cute. It's a woven with a shirred waistband, and it's coming out soon. And sorry if you hear that noise in the background, my son is moving chairs around in the background. Like I said, it's chaos in this house. But like I said, it's chaos here all the time, and this was the best time for me to sit down and do this. And there's our dishwasher going off. So anyways, as I was saying, Little Lizard King / Styla has a really cute woven skirt in testing, and you need a kind of loose, a drapey, flowy woven fabric, and there is plenty here. So I think that I will be able to make one for both my daughters out of this skirt, and I think it would be really cute. I know this is kind of more fall-y colors, but they'll be able to wear it in the fall as well. So that is everything that I got, and like I said, you know, you gotta be kind of open to what you're going to do when you're upcycling materials for fabric, because now even I have some plans for it, but until I sit down with my patterns and the fabric and look at it, I don't know for sure if a pattern is going to work with fabric. You might have to give and take a little bit. Sometimes you might have to have a seam where there wasn't supposed to be a seam in order to make it work. Like here, this ruffle has seams in it. If I needed the fabric, you know, I might just have to leave the seam in there and cut it out as the piece with the seam, and it just kind of looks Frankenstein, and most people probably wouldn't even know. So basically, just when you're upcycling, keep an open mind. When you are out shopping, keep an open mind. Think of a couple of ideas of what you could use the piece for, and then go from there. You can also go out with a very specific idea of what you want to make, and then pick out your items from there. It's going to be a little bit harder to find exactly what you're looking for if you are being picky on something specific, but you know, if that is what you want and what you're going to do, then you may have to go to a couple stores, you may have to go back a couple times, you may have to take your pattern with you or have measurements so that you can measure graphics on it to make sure that it would fit on the pattern, or just say, you know, it's okay, a little bit's going to get cut off at the neckline or on the sides, whatever it may be. You have to go up a size in order to get a graphic to fit, or you know, you may not be able to use that garment for whatever that is, and you have to keep looking. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I love thrifting. I have been thrifting my entire life. It was so fun to take you guys along with me, even though I know it was a very short trip for me, 45 minutes, 2 stores, and I got what, 6 or 7 great fabrics to upcycle. And make sure you follow me on Instagram. It's at Sewbexx. It's Sewbexx. And I will definitely be posting reels or videos when I do get around to these. Now, I may not get around to them anytime soon, but I will be sharing other information and other projects on there. And it's just a good place to stay in touch. And you can also subscribe to my channel. I may do some upcycling videos and things like that in the future. So make sure you like this video and leave a comment if you loved it. let me know what your favorite piece was that I thrifted and what you would do if you were upcycling it. Thanks for watching. Bye.